Alright, what's going on guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, we're going to be going over some patch notes, right? I know I've been quite busy doing other things and kind of just taking a break from Wiz and not trying to burn myself out because a lot of people have been burning themselves out from playing the game recently. And we got some patch notes, got some stuff coming out, and I'm really surprised about what's coming out. So if you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. And let's talk about it, shall we? Let's talk about it. So these are the official patch notes. Before I made a video just going over some stuff in the Discord, but these are the actual official patch notes. And this one caught me by surprise. I'm really surprised KI did this, right? It's a bold move, and I'm very surprised and I'm locked in for it, right? There is a new key boss that is coming to Wiz, and we all knew that key boss was going to happen soon. It was a burrower key boss essentially for the pack, and yeah, so we're going to get the burrower gear and the spellements, of course, which is kind of surprises me. I mean, usually key bosses take a year, right? They take 100% at least a year to make, and this time around, or just not for make, but just to like come out, and this time around it actually came out pretty quick. So just from that conclusion, Burrower does not have 170 gear, just because they released key boss, right? If they release in a year, the gear would just be irrelevant. So now that it's here, that just proves it, and just Burrower will be at 160, and that's it. So the key boss is called General Lightbane. You'll need to defeat this boss. Mastery of Shadow Magic. So this just gives me vibes right off the rip, Omen vibes, right? And I've been farming Omen for the past couple days, just because I needed the masteries on some of my characters, and definitely praying we don't get some Omen cheats. But hey, I'm ready. I'll be awake whenever this boss does come out. I should be streaming by the time this video comes out, and I will be up doing this boss. If there's people that want to do it, let me know. Come by the Twitch chat and we can run it up. If not, I'm most likely just going to quad box it just because I don't want to wait on people. So definitely going to figure out some cheats, how to cheese it, whatever. Write down all the things that I can about this boss, and should be a fun time, right? So be on the lookout for that. So we are going to be doing this, and we'll see how the cheats goes. Now we got some other stuff as well that didn't really talk about, which I knew was going to happen at one point, was rematch changes, right? Boss rematches are getting some changes, which is very good, right? Good thing we voiced our opinion on the channel, and you know, no one else is really doing the key bosses, I mean, or the rematches. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I felt like I was the only one even really talking about it, and I'm glad that there's some changes being addressed, such as the Oni gambits are now counterable and less frequent. So definitely you guys should see some videos revisiting some of these bosses, just mainly these three. I doubt the other ones got changed, just because, you know, we didn't do any cheese stuff. Like Rocket Patcher's kind of straightforward. Yeah, Yardi's kind of straightforward. Just these needed to be changed, such as Lord Nightshade's global can no longer be dispelled, and there's some strats already on the rematches. Like if we go over here and we go visit the Nightshade one right here, I wrote from the start when I made the video that, hey, this is not intended, right? You're not, it's not intended to just dispel the bubble. So the most likely it's probably going to be this one, right? I have to double check if this actually even works, but I've had it on the slide for like the longest, right? Because of I knew that this was eventually going to be a change. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, I will go back to the Nightshade rematch, do some more testing. Just at the moment, I have this written down for the time being. So there's that. And then I do have to go visit the the Jade Oni rematch. We'll see how this, because right now this is like a if-then situation. You got to like have a certain setup at the moment. I mean, what people just were doing was the flea strat, right? It existed. So I don't know if that's getting patched within this. It doesn't say it, but keep in mind whenever they do put patch notes, which I always kind of have to address because not everything's listed, right? Not everything will be listed on the patch notes. So it's very possible, right, that they made it so you can't flee anymore and you can't dungeon recall. I'll find that out later tonight. But if that's the case, I'm assuming that they did fix Hall of Heroes, if that's the case. But Hall of Heroes isn't even listed in this patch notes. So to all the people who keep asking me about Hall of Heroes, it's not fixed yet, right? It's just not. So if you guys want that gold key from the challenge mode, I'm sorry. So yeah, so those are all getting changed. And then I didn't know this was a thing, but max level gear no longer drops at lower levels. I've never had that. I mean, I've tested it with lower level people, but they always got set tiered gear. So like, for example, if I was a level 5 or something like that, it would always give me gear within a certain tier level. So I wasn't getting 160 gear. But if they didn't know this was actually occurring, I mean, it didn't happen to me. So the devs know more about that stuff. I wouldn't know. And then of course, as tech array changes, we've already talked about most of the stuff in the previous video because it was already in the Discord. Improve spawn rate of cocoa pods, mana drain, balance minions, creeper mobs. So it's just the health. Not the cheats are still gonna exist. Less likelihood of shadow enhanced hits. Still possibly can happen. It's just a reduced chance because they don't want to change the pips on the shadow enhanced spells. I know for us it's 2 pips, but they're not changing it how it works for the mobs. Because like I said, it is a raid and there's a lot of like talk back and forth about this, but it's just more of a less likelihood. We'll have to see how less it is. And then we also had just the combat model, time to complete, which we already talked about, the intended way, and then the alternate way, which is just basically using Stupefy. And then this I did not know about. Shababa Elemental takes fewer sprites to spawn. My assumption, right, it was 4 initially, and they says fewer, so I don't think it's going to be like 1 less, so it's not going to go to 3, right? If it was going to be 3, I would assume that they would write 3. My assumption is now it's 2, right? It wouldn't be 1. Just killing 1 to spawn in the boss would be kind of weird. I feel like 2 is like it's like right down the middle. It's that spot that I feel like is a good sweet spot. But there are some other changes to Shababa Elemental that people were telling me that it could possibly be, but let's just go based on the patch notes. So fewer sprites. So if essentially what I would say is if you really want to do Shababa Elemental in your runs, I advise not to go for north or west because of the fact that it pulls it into the minion fights, right? There's not much you can do. North, yeah, you can still pull it where the guardian spawns, and west you can still pull it where the grass is, but you only have 1 spot really, right? If they made it so we can kill the sprites when we already like spawned in the boss and those tokens as skull fights don't respawn, that'd be perfect. It would make this boss so much easier to spawn in, but still no word. So at the moment, south is going to be your best spot and east is going to be your best spot to pull in those sprites, and north is still possibly viable, but like it's more consistent on south than east than anything. So keep that in mind if you do want to go for Shababa Elemental. PvP changes, can't really say my piece on this because you guys know I don't really do PvP. This is more of like a Sauce and Liam type thing to go over, but I'm assuming, you know, PvP recipes have been tweaked in the cost. I know that they were changing the recipes, but don't know to what. I don't know if they changed it to arena tickets, but I'll find out whenever the patch notes, or not the patch notes, whenever the patch comes out later tonight. You guys should see another video coming out maybe tomorrow, or yeah, maybe tomorrow, and talk about all the key boss stuff. And then make casts were disabled and lower in cast rate and in PvE. PvE cast is unaffected. My thing is, I know it says in PvP. They didn't say advanced combat. PvP is technically advanced combat in a certain way, but not really. So I'm assuming this just doesn't affect advanced combat. But if it does, I'm kind of surprised. But I don't know which ones they disabled. I know Radbeard said he didn't want to discuss which ones because he doesn't want players to start using other make casts and abusing those. So we'll just have to see. But I've heard talk about people switching from like Bracefy and using Fortify on their pet for PvP. I don't know. I'm not a PvP head. I can give you guys just a brief explanation on it. Miscellaneous, we got some fixes to some quests, some graphical and animation tweaks. Doesn't say in the raid, so I would like to see some stuff fixed in the raid. Apparently it's still laggy for some players, and it's not laggy for me, but at times I feel like it can be kind of like glitchy, but maybe that's just me. And then this one too, this one was quite a big change for the PvP players. PvE players, it's still usable. You can still do it turn 1, so you can still do like Burrowing Bane and Incendiate, if that's something that you guys want to do. Still exists, right? So you don't always have to do this on fire, but all he did was just increase the cost of it. So instead of being 2 in a life pip, it's 3 in a life pip. It's definitely going to be a bigger effect on PvP. PvE, I mean, hey, round 1 you basically have 5 pips anyway, so you can just still do this round 1. It's just not really an issue. But those are all the changes, right? We'll have to see. I'm praying there's no issues. I feel like I have to like just roll the dice every time new stuff comes out, but we'll have to see if this isn't buggy. I know Pirate had their test realm come out quite recently. I know some people were asking if I could stream that. I didn't want to stream it due to the fact that I knew day 1 was going to be a lot of issues, and literally there were some issues and people were talking about it in the Pirate 101 Discord. So for that reason, I didn't want to go through the stress of a lot of bugs. If you guys still want me to upload footage of the stuff, I definitely can. I know Senor Spicy's been enjoying it. I could set some time aside and definitely do that, but I know a lot of players are wanting me to do the school key boss, do the rematch stuff, and then of course Azteca stuff, which I see what you guys say in Discords. I know for like the past like couple days I was on Wiz break, as you guys are calling it, and don't worry, it's not like I disappeared. I just needed to take like a quick breather from Wiz, which is good to have, not gonna lie, because the amount of time I spent on Wiz compared to most people is actually absurd. So this is like giving me a breather, you know. But don't worry, I will lock in for some of the stuff. It's not like I disappeared, guys. It's not like I disappeared. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Sorry for the lack of uploads as well, but like I said earlier, just needed a break. But I will lock in and videos will go back to normal. And even this, right, I'm ready. I already got the cheats. I already got the setup. So if you guys want to see this stuff, it will be in the Discord, of course. But that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff, and stop by the stream if you guys want to see the key boss stuff before I upload the video. Right, I'll be up testing stuff, and yeah. So talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.